Coming up on Mobile Learning in the Classroom, PhET interactive simulations. Hi, welcome to Mobile Learning in the Classroom, and today we're going to look at PhET interactive simulations, and this is from the University of Colorado Boulder, and it is a series of science and chemistry and math simulations that you can use in your classrooms. And I was going through and playing with some of these earlier this morning, and I found one in motion that I have yet to successfully complete. And you land the lunar module on the moon. And I'm automatically going to be drawn to apps that have to do with science and aerospace and airplanes. But the features that I want to point out to you with this are all of the resources for teachers. So it'll tell you what level it's for, middle school, high school, and then there are a whole bunch of different sort of things to go along with it, and it'll tell you what type it is. So there's a lab, there's a guided lab with this one. Others have clicker questions that are pre-built in, so if you're doing a larger unit and you want to figure out some free resources to throw in to make your lesson a little bit more interactive, you can. The other feature that I really like, and then we'll go through and I'll show you a couple of them, is the Google Classroom icon, which I haven't seen yet on other websites, so of course I had to figure out what it does. And when you go to it, if you have your class already using Google Classroom, you can choose which class it is, and you can select an action. So I'm going to ask a question, and then again you can build in right into Google Classroom the interaction and have it set up. So we're going to call this Lunar Lander and try to land the lunar module. And let's see here. So then you ask it to the class, and then it'll automatically post to your class, and you don't even have to leave the website with all of the other simulations in it. And what I like about this is oftentimes when you're doing something in class, right, and you have access to maybe some interactive elements within software that your school provides or that comes with the curriculum, students might not be able to access it at home. With these, through Google Classroom, they can access it at home. So as they're working through homework, or maybe they just don't quite remember that step that they did in class or that was demoed or they got to experience, they can have that experience at home by just logging into Google Classroom, which they've been doing all along anyway. And since Google Classroom can be accessed on a mobile device, they can do it from an iPad, they can do it from a smartphone, and then they can do it from their computer. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Lunar Lander. Like I said, oh my, okay. I haven't actually successfully done this one, but it gives you directions and it's got a really sort of 90s video game feel to it. So it's gonna say if you move the up arrow, you're gonna thrust up, and then less thrust, and then you can tilt it left and right. So again, with Hidden Figures that just came out and all of the talk about NASA currently, this could be a really cool way to sort of reorient your students into some science concepts and talk about what does it really take to land a lunar module on the moon. And based on just this simulation, I'm gonna say it's kind of hard because I've crashed like 16 different times. And then it tells you that you get points for soft landings. If I don't die, I consider it a success. One time I only broke the legs, like my crew lived, but I broke the legs of the lunar module. And then game over if you hit a boulder or crash land. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and give this a try, and you guys can see my little lunar module, and I tilt it, and I slow down, maybe, and then I fly back up again. Oh my, there we go. I'm not sure where I went. And over on the right-hand side, you can see that it's telling you your altitude, the range, velocity per minute, your thrust, the amount of fuel you have. So again, your students can use the skills that they've learned and use actual science to help them land their module. Haha, I hit a boulder, I damaged the leg, lost fuel, crash landed, killed the crew. Like I said, not terribly successful, but it lets me try again. And what's interesting is it does tell you what you did. So my landing speed was 16.7 meters per second, which is really fast and not the soft landing that you want. It also keeps score, so if you have students that get really good at it, they can keep score. But again, the idea is they get to sort of get a feel for what it looks like, what velocity you need to land softly, how do you maneuver, because it doesn't have brakes. So how do you maneuver the lunar module so that it lands properly? Okay, so other ones that you can do that I was looking at, there's one, states of matter. So if you're looking at as something as simple as the water cycle, right? When things change state from liquid to solid. Again, this one, if you go to For Teachers, it gives you all sorts of different things. So it'll give you a lab demo, more lab stuff, states of matter and inquiry-based phase change. Go ahead and see what this is. So again, it gives you lesson plans, student directions, lesson plans. So again, it gives you a lot of resources that go along with these simulations. And as you can see over here, not all of them apparently can be sent to Google Classroom, but if you see the icon, you can. If not, it does have an embed code, so you can embed it. You can also download them, and they should just allow you to click on it and see the simulation, but that one isn't going to let me. So since we've been looking at chemistry apps, I was kind of trying to find other sorts of science apps for you. And this one focuses a lot on physics, but they're also biology. There are some chemistry ones. There's earth science. So gravity and orbs, glaciers. And then there's some math ones as well. So you can look at area, you can look at balance, Ohm's law, vector addition, and then down here, just a list of teacher resources, and it'll give you tips for how to use them. It comes with helpful YouTube videos, and who doesn't love a good YouTube video? So again, just a whole lot of resources for you that you can build into whatever sort of lesson you're doing in science. You can also sort by grade level. So let's see what they have for elementary school. Area Builder. Let's see what Area Builder is. Okay. So we're going to build an area. It's an area 2, perimeter 6. Okay, and then we can erase. I can have 2 going at once. Can I cross over? No. It won't let me. Okay, so then if I go back and see what the game option was, go to level 1. I need to build an area of 9. I built an area of 9, and it gives me a smiley face. So again, even if you're at the elementary school level, there are ones situated for younger learners, in addition to the ones for high school and middle school, and even university. Look at that. So again, I encourage you to just go and look at ones that might be relevant for your students and for whatever science unit they might be on. Some of the great features are, again, they get to see some motion. Not all of them are great. Like I said, a couple of the games look like 90s, video games. But again, most of your students will at least remember Oregon Trail fondly. So there's always that working for you. So this has been Mobile Learning in the Classrooms. See ya.